A very good morning to you. It is Friday, the 29th of May. I'm so sorry, I was such a silly sausage yesterday and I told you it was April. Sarah did phone me after and he said, no, you said damn it was April and it is May actually. I think because we've been sort of home and out of the routine for such a long time, it's just I don't know. I in my head, I personally still think it's April, and it's going to be June next week. So yeah, the time just flies by. 10 weeks we've been doing these videos. So you got over 70, oh well, almost 70 videos on the Facebook page now to check out. Morning Alicia, morning Marisha, Edward, Victoria. We've been doing so many different techniques. Morning Margaret. Yeah, this nearly June. Yes, it is. And I don't know where the last month gone. It's just gone so quick. Morning, Kamal, Debbie, Di, Annie. Oh, there's so many of you lovely ladies and gentlemen are here this morning. I got so much to show you. We're gonna take a bit of an easier technique today, and then we're gonna progress to a more. I'll turn it around and I'll show you the samples. You will be able to see it better. Morning, Alison. Morning, Chris, Sean, Linda, Maureen, Linny. Oh, gosh, there's so many of you here. Let me just quickly turn the camera around. I'm going to put it in my lighting grid, turn the light up quite nice and bright, and then you will be able to see all the lovely samples. So, working with flex cotton cord, flat waxed cotton cord. Oh gosh, this is a bit of a mouthful to say it. It's really, really easy. You can get really nice results with not really much materials, I guess, because it gives you this lovely ribbony effect between the beads. You can do it with two colors together, or you can do just a single one. Oh, oopsie. Sorry, wobbling camera. This one is doing with the two beads, so very similar effect, but just one ribbon and two beads. But of course you can do more of a plainer ones just with your pearls and one color. The attachments are really easy to do as well. They're just sort of little crimps what goes on the end of your cord. Very, very easy to do. So the materials what we're going to be using today is the flat wax cotton cord. It comes in, let me just grab them, 5 different colors we have. So we got a lovely navy blue, we got a silver grey, we got a turquoisey color, we also have a black, and we also have a purple. Where is my purple gone here? Come, yeah. We got purple as well. So it comes in 5 different colors. You can mix and match them. You can use them together. You can use them separate as well. It's a really lovely material. It gives you a very different effect. Doris is saying, Kitty, you are going blurry and buffering. I'm not sure if that's me or if that's your connection, internet connection, but I think sort of this time of the morning, there's a lot of people on the internet. So try and maybe refresh the page. Sometimes that works for me. But can anybody else let me know if you are blurry or if you got any problems with the video feed? And then Mina is asking, could I try it with satin ribbon? Yes, you could. The only thing I find with satin ribbon that they are really thin. So the effect what you get with ribbon, it's not as great as you get with this flat wax cotton cord, because these have got a little bit of a depth to them as well. So I reckon they about 1.5 millimeters in thickness, 1 millimeter to 1.5 millimeters in thickness, and then your satin ribbons are going to be much thinner. Amina's saying same to me. It's when you get close to the camera. Okay, I try to keep my hands down, or I'll tell you what we do. I'll move this rig up a little bit to give us a bit more space, and then perhaps we're not gonna. Lucy's saying you went a little blurry, but it's okay now. Signal is fine. Blurry when gets closer. Okay, so I'm not gonna bring my hands up. I'll keep them down on the table for you. Right, so that's what I guess your basic designs is, and it's really easy to make. We're going to do these today, so I'm going to show you how to do them. And then what I thought we could do perhaps next week, because this one takes a little bit more planning out when you do the multi-row ones. I really enjoyed doing these multi-row ones because I think they look really great. The fact you can have with them, and you don't need to make them, the purple one is quite big, but you don't really need to make them, even if you just do them in little pieces, it still looks really good. So we do these ones next week. So get through the basics first today, and then we can, I need to show you this one. This one I played around, oh my God, this was ages ago, using crystal drops and still using this lovely material, this flatback cotton cord, but stitched it together into little flowers. So there's plenty you can do with it, really. Right. But as we're doing easier things, I was going to ask Christopher to come and have a little go with me, but he's busy playing on his computer with his friends, as it's half term. He said, Mum, it's half term. So I guess, I said, fine, bless him. But he does like to do these Facebook Lives. So, the other thing I need to show you these slider beads, and then we will crack on with the demonstration. So these ones are really cute. We put them into little bundles. They used to cost £1 each, and now Simon put them in a little bundle and discounted them to £7.99. So you get a great savings on them. The great thing about them that they have a hole like the width of the ribbon as well. And then you can put them through and put them on them. I love these hands and feet. So this is a bundle. You get 20 beads in each of the bundles, and we've done them in different themes. So this is hands and feet. I mean, look at how cute is this bunny. I just love it. So you got bunnies and butterflies. Then you have flowers. I love these flowers as well. They're really nice, and you know, they got a couple of designs in there. Then you got your hearts. They look really good as well. Some of them, it's got more rhinestones. Some of them, it's only got one of them, but they're really nice and colourful as well. And then we're moving on to our squares. These are really nice design as well. Now, the good thing about this, that the hole is going diagonally through this. And it's... Oh, Mina's saying, Kitty, my son is playing Roblox all day. Oh, yes, I know. It's Roblox in our house, and Fortnite, and Minecraft. So that's what we... And he comes and is like, oh, I did this and this and this and this, and now I haven't got a clue what he's talking about, that what they did on there. Bless them, but... I guess it's their generation. That's Victoria is saying, my daughter too, she wants to use her pocket money to buy credits. Oh, I know. Even Christopher, he was like, oh, what jobs can I do around the house for some pocket money so I can have some, I can buy some virtual money, I guess. So these great as well because the holes are diagonally on them. And then finally we got sort of a little metal mix. Some of them are quite plain, some of them has lovely rhinestones in them, but these lovely flowers, which just looks really, really gorgeous. Again, this one, I think that one is, there was $7.99. So each one of those bundles contains 20 of the slider beads, and you can use them on the cord. So this is great, so that if you want to create with children, or if you want to, like, you know, if you want to get a few bits of pieces for your children or grandchildren or nieces, this is a really great way to start to get them crafting, because it's a really easy piece to make. I'm going to turn this into a bracelet, and then I'm going to show you the stitching after that. Also, what we have on there, if you don't, we got some, I guess these are your quick fixes. So we have these little, they're like faux leather bases for the beads themselves as well. So you could get one of these if you like. I'm not sure the price of them, but I think they're quite cheap. They're not the strongest ones, so they're definitely only really for children. And again, the things go on, they're really easy. The only thing you might have to do, because they sealed the ends of these faux leathers, that you get your flat nose plier out, and before you start putting your beads on there, so just give a little squeeze to the end, to flatten it down a little bit to create a more of a easy end, and then it's really easily you can just put them on and string them on there, and then just sort of slide in there. Come on, let's get going. That's it. And I can pull this up. These ones, these are faux leather ones. When you put them on there, they're gonna be not stuck on there, but you can still move them around, but they are quite sort of stable when you put them on there. When you put them on the flat wax cotton cord, they can move around, so you get this lovely movement in there as well. So it's just up to you. Really easy to make. You can put so many of them on there, like, you know, but even if you just had a couple on there, they look really great. I think a very easy make for children. Even my daughter Lucy, she helped me to sort these out the other day. Just put plain on here as well. To sort me out them the other day, and she was like, "Oh, these looks great." And that's it. So it's really easy to get them on. Have I got another purple one? Let's bring this down. And I'm just going to add this butterfly. So it's really, really easy. They might need a bit of perseveration, a bit of pushing through at the beginning, and then you can just pull them right down. So it's a very, very easy make for children. Right, so let me show you how to do it with the flat wax cotton cord. The cotton cord cuts really easily. Now, I got my fabric scissors here, but if you haven't got fabric scissors, just order any. Oh, Joe's saying Christopher sends exactly my son. I think they're all the same. Well, he's 9. He's going to be 10 in October. I think in his age group, like when I was young, we were playing outside in the dirt and the mud and playing with sticks and stones, I guess, and building forts and do all sorts of things. And now it's all, I guess, computer based. Bless them, but that's their generation. I wonder what's they sons and daughters going to do when they're small. And then Christopher's going to go like, in my day we just played on a computer, and now you do this. They look like little cat collars. We blink our cats up, Laura. Yes, you could, because I did actually put one on my cat. But they're not as strong as a cat collar, because cat collars are, I suppose, thicker and wider as well. But if you just want to sort of have a little fun with it, it will be big enough to go around the cat neck, I guess. We had a little fun with our Sydney the other day. Right, so it's very easy to cut. You can cut this wax cotton cord just with your scissors. I use my fabric scissors because they're really sharp, and somebody, I don't know which one of my children, whoever bought my little scissors, what I use for my stitching, and it's become a little bit blunt. And so I took my fabric scissors out. Right, so very easily you can just slide them on, and they go on there. And let's put a butterfly there. And I think we put another butterfly on the other side, and that will be great. So the connectors come in, we got 3 different colors. So we got a rhodium color, which is sort of your antique silver. We also have a silver color, which is your shiny silver. And we have a gold color. Let me just grab them out of the bag. So I do like to sort of match them up, which one goes better with your design or with the color of the cord you're using. Obviously, if you're using, well, depending on the beads as well, because when you put beads against them, if you're using gold beads, then you want the gold end as well. I'm just going to use this one. This is the rhodium color one. So when you want to put your end on, you want to cut this straight. So I'm going to come in and just cut a tiny bit again. Just cut it straight, and it's so easy to do. I'm just going to put this, insert the end of my cotton cord inside there, and crimp this together. Now you can do it with a pair of pliers, or can you do it with your hands? Yes, you can do it with your hands. What I like to do, I sort of like to close it with my hands a little bit, and then I will go in with my pliers and just really squeeze it on there. So those little teeth, what you can see if I bring it up, those little teeth goes inside the material and grips on it, so it won't be able to fall off afterwards. And then we just need to connect our ends. But let me grab some of my lobster glass. Sorry, wobbling camera. So I'm going to match the lobster clasp. I'm going to use the same color, the rhodium color, and we're going to need a couple of jump rings. But actually, let's cut this to size first. So I'm going to cut the other side. If I want to make it for Lucy, I'll probably have to do it much smaller than I am, because she's got such a dainty wrist as well. So I reckon about that size is enough. So I'm going to cut this straight as well and attach another one on the other side. Now once you put the ends on there, it's not going to come off. That's going to stay on there, so your beads won't be able to slide past your closure, your little sliders. But you can, as I said, you can fill it up more, you can sort of leave it spaced out. It's entirely up to you. So very quickly, we've got 2 ends on there. All we need is 2 jump rings. Oh, so he's saying please don't use them for cat collars. They don't have a safety release catch in case they get caught up on something. Oh, yes, I think that's actually true. We only sort of put you on the cat to take a photo of it, and we took it off. Yes, but I wouldn't sort of leave it on there. Good thinking. Thank you, Sue. We definitely don't want to harm any of the cats. Oh, lovely cats. Well, we love our cat. Bless her, she's gonna be 13 years old this summer. I don't even know how long cats live, but she's still a really good. she's like still goes out and runs after the birds, and bless her. Right, I've got the little jump ring here. There's a little cut right to the top, so I'm gonna turn one towards me, the other one away. I'm supporting with 2 pairs of pliers. Then I'm just gonna quite simply put the end on. I'm gonna put a lobster clasp on one end and close it back in. When you close it back in, you wanna go past the midway just a tiny bit, and then it will spring shut. If you see there is a tiny little gap between your, like, you know, when the 2 ends meet up, I then open it up, sort of push it in a little bit, take it to the other side, push it in a little bit, then bring it to the middle. When you can actually feel that the middle is rubbing together. That's when you got a really nice and closed connection. And I'm just going to add the jump ring on the other side. Just like that. Oh, cat collars have elastic, yes. Although our cat actually hasn't got a collar, because she never really got on with them, so she always takes them off herself, I guess. And that's it, our little bracelet is ready. Now these wax cotton cord comes in meter lengths, so 1 meter is 50p. Oh yes, that will be the perfect size for Lucy. Comes in meter length, so 1 meter is 50p. However, if you want to buy 10 meters, you get it for £3.50, so you get a 30% savings on there. Oh, we forgot to add the butterfly on the other side. Never mind, we can make another one. So it's really easy to work with. Right, let's have a look at one of these, one with the beads. Now, when you're weaving them around like this, or even if you're doing the double one, so we got one color on one side and the other color on the other side, doesn't really think, you know, it doesn't take much preparation, because we're gonna weave it around as we're adding the beads on. But if you want to make the multi-row one, which I showed you earlier, that does need sort of a ruler and planning out and placing the dots where you need to go. So I just grabbed some pearls and crystals from the warehouse. What do you want me to work with? Do you want me to do it with crystals, or do you want me to do it with pearls? Let me know. I will take the first answer and we start making. The bowl looks really lovely. I love the crystal version as well, but I love them with pearls as well. How many necklaces do you get from 1 meter? So, if you just sort of weave it around the beads, you need not quite twice the length of the necklace. So from 1 meter, if you use it singly, I reckon you could get a necklace and a bracelet out. If you use it doubly, then you need 2 different colors. But if you just want to make a little bracelet, I think this bracelet is probably about my size, so 7, maybe 8 inches. So that's like 20 centimeters of the bracelet itself, and the cord is probably about 26-27 centimeters on it, so you can make a lot out of them. It's just a little one. Oh, Julie's saying morning Kitty, and all you lovely beaders, happy Friday. Pearl. Oh, crystals, what was the first one? Crystals, pearls, crystal, that is lovely. Crystals, yes, I think Dorothy was the first one to say crystals, so let's go with crystals. Now the pearls are 10 millimeter, by the way. You can use 8 millimeter on there, but I just find that because you're making sort of a statement piece here, you want a slightly larger pearl. So if you've got larger pearls at home, it's a really great way to use it up, because for a bracelet you only need a few bits of pearls. So if you're gonna use the crystals, I'm gonna go with, shall we do the turquoise with the turquoise? Or perhaps we can do... Ooh, I know what would look nice. The purple with this rainbow crystal. And if that one, I could make it double, because the navy and the purple will look really nice around this rainbow crystal, because you just got those colors in it. But then I guess this one would look nice as well. Oh, don't get me started on colors, because when I can get so lost on colors and just keep playing and playing and playing. Right, let me show you a basic version. Just with one, we're going to use this lovely color. Oh, I haven't showed you this one. So you can also make little decorations out there for your tree. This is just a pin put through with some beads, and as you go up or come down, it doesn't matter which end do you start, you make your little weaves larger or smaller, and they just look really good. Real fun thing to do with them as well, I guess. So that looks good. Right, let me show you this one first. So this is going to be a single weave. Now you need to leave a little bit of material, and then that's the right color. So I'm just going to take my Supalon, and this is why the Supalon is so great, because it comes in 36 different colors. So you always got a color to match anything you do. Actually, I'm gonna use this little bit shorter needle. Now there's so many different needles out there what you could use. I generally use 2 of them. So this one is the Flex Right needle, which is a little bit shorter and stubbier, and it doesn't bend so much. And then I got my longer needles. They're quite bendy, but I love beading with them. So I'm just going to leave a little bit on the end, so we might need to trim a little bit off, and I'm just going to tackle, actually I'm going to cut this off the bobbin, because we don't need it on the bobbin. So I'm just going to tackle the end, just a couple of half hitch knots on there to secure my thread. I don't like to make a knot on the end of my thread and then start beading, because it's always, I find it when you're working, it's always sort of sticks out somewhere. So I just like to do a couple of half hitch knot, and then it's really nice and secure, and then I can trim this end off. That's it. And to make it even more secure, I'm gonna stitch to the other side, then I'm gonna come back to where I added my end. And I'm going to pick up my first bead, slide it all the way down, and just quite simply pull this tight, take the ribbon around it, just like so, and stitch, trying to stitch right in the middle by the hole, and pull this through. and then we trap the first crystal. You're probably gonna get a tighter sort of feeling after you added a few crystals, but that's what you're gonna be doing. So just gonna be taking your crystal down, hold it nice and tight, bring your Vex cotton cord around and just go through just like that and pull it tight. So it's really that easy. We're just stitching around it. Oh, Mercy is saying the rainbow crystal is so pretty. I love rainbow. We got, I think, about 2 or 3 different rainbow finishes in crystals. So we got, that's your normal rainbow finish, and we got one which I called mermaid color, which is autumn rainbow actually. I love that one as well. And then you get sort of some of the clear finishes, which is then it's called blue rainbow. They look great as well. So that's it. We're just going to keep stitching. It comes together quite quickly. Now you can leave larger loops or smaller loops. I like to do them quite tight, so you just got a nice little wave in them. So remember Sarah did a video, oh gosh, it was maybe about 3 or 4 weeks back. She did a very similar pattern, but with using like a larger crystal and smaller beads, and you were sort of weaving the smaller beads around the larger crystal. So you can see you can create very similar looks with different materials. And just going through. Now, if I wanted to, I don't have to add the crystals, because the beauty of this, the ribbon looks really nice and pretty. I don't have to add the crystals all the way around. I could just add a middle piece, which I think I had a bracelet here somewhere, and have just the ribbon going down to the clasp. So I'm just going to pull this down. Make sure it's nice and tight, but we're going to tighten up later on. Right, every so often, what I like to do, so let's do it after this bead, to keep my tension really tight, is to add a little half an inch knot just on the top here. So that's sort of securing and making sure my work is nice and tight. And then I don't have to worry about so much of pulling it all the way through. I mean, you can do it after every single bead, but I just found after every few bead, it's enough. And if you make quite a few of them, you're not even going to have to wrap it around the crystal anymore, because you're going to know approximately how big gap you're going to need to pull this up. Of course, you could take your ruler and you could measure out beforehand and put tiny little dots on there and keep going through your dots, but that's it really. It's about that much. You can just play with it. So that's when you want to do a single version of it. Now when you come to a double version, there's a couple of options you can do. You could carry on this, turn into a necklace or a bracelet, and as I said, you can leave smaller or larger loops on there, depending on what you want to do. I think I left larger ones on this one, and let me show you the half one. Oh yes, here it is. So doing a half one, you can just add beads to the top of it and just have the little wax gone cord showing at the back. And then I secured it on both sides with little knots, and that's really just like a little fun bracelet to go into your stash. You could pinch them a different way. So this one, again, doing the waves on the same side. And if I wanted to do this, what I would do when I get to here and I want to pinch it, so I want the curve to go always on the bottom, before I add another crystal, I would just take maybe about 2 or 3 millimeters, sew up right into the middle of my material and pull this up tight. Then I would add another crystal. And what is the ribbon called? Has it a certain name? Elaine is asking. This is called flat waxed cotton cord. And now just added the next one, so because I made some, you know, of these ones, I don't necessarily need to wrap it around. I know sort of how big I need to go. And again, before I add my next crystal, I'm just going to take about 3mm and come back to the crystal side. And when I pull this up tight, you can see now we're forming our little loops just only on the bottom of the crystals. So this looks great in necklaces. And then let me show you this one, bring this one back, because it's almost look like the pearls are just floating on the top of your material. So it's a really great, you can play around, you can do so many different things with it. That's what I love about materials like this, is so versatile. Right, let's put this to the side, and I'll show you with the double. It's a tiny bit more trickier because you have to hold the two together. Now there's a couple of things you could do, although because we're going to be using two different colors here, you can tackle them together, and that would keep them nice and I guess straight. But if you tackle them together as you're turning, you might end up with little bulges in places. So I don't like to do that. I just like to sort of wing it all the way along and add my beads as I go and keep sort of going backwards and forwards. Now you could measure out your dots, but don't forget, if you look at your pattern, if you look at your finished pattern, the black one on this side is smaller, but in this loop it will be larger because it's sitting on the top of the gray one. So bear in mind, this is very organic. That's you know, it's really great to work with them. Like, let me just cut the strings to get some of these crystals. Now I like to, it doesn't really matter what color or thread you're going to use here, because obviously it will be hidden inside, but I like to use either navy or purple to go with this, so you get a great, so you don't see it so much. Or you could even use like a charcoal color, which I can't put my hand, oh there is one, I found them. So the charcoal color is just sort of a greyish color, dark color. It's not black, because I find that black does show up on things. It's just sort of a very dark grey. Right, there we go. Trim the end of this. This is like when you're trying to thread a needle live, or when you do the Facebook lives, it's always like when they say no, they don't want to go through, but they went through, thanks God. It's always like a very stressful moment when you have to thread the needle. But I find actually, and we talk about needles quite a lot, and people saying that they find it hard to sort of just to thread the needles. I find with some of my needles, after I've been using, and I do really use my needles a lot, after you've been using a lot, and especially if you've been going through very small beads, I find that the eyes close up a little bit, and then it's even harder to thread them. Right, I'm going to hold the two ends together. I'm going to leave a little bit bigger gap on the end, so I got room to play with how I'm going to do the end. And if I need then to cover up anything, again, I'm just going to tackle my end down here, starting the same way as we did. I'm going to go backwards and forwards a couple of times before I add my knot. Make sure it's nice and straight and that your thread doesn't loop around your ends, because then there's nothing worse to get halfway through your necklace and then you find you got a naughty thread somewhere sticking out. I'm just going to tackle it down here a little bit. Going through the loop, pulling it up, just add another knot. I probably knotted more than what I should. But since I had small children, and my children are not that big anymore, Christopher is 9 and Lucy is 13, they always like to tug on your jewellery, and I always like to make my ends extra secure. So I tackled it down because my knot is on this side, I'm just gonna take it through and coming back. So when I'm adding my first bead, I'm not adding it straight out of the knot. And then again, you're just gonna pick up your first crystal and take it all the way down. Bring this around a little bit. And now you really have to bring it nice and around it. And as you can see, the blue one is going to be a smaller length and the purple one is going to be larger because it's going on that side only by a couple of millimeters. But this is, if you then do it straight and then go through here, when I bring this around, so let me just hold this together nice and strong there. When I bring this around, you can see the blue start to buckle under the purple. So when you're doing two colors together, or even you can do three colors, I guess, as many as you want, you really need to make sure that you bring them around. This is pulling back. And that's it. So I'm just gonna really nicely wrap you around there. I'm holding the crystal and both of the ribbons with my fingers on the left, and then I'm just gonna stitch straight through and pull it up tight. And then I got sort of a perfect length there. Oh, Dorothy's saying, wow, I didn't realize I could watch Facebook videos on my TV. Yay, I can really see this so much more close up now. Yes, if you got any of the smart TVs or anything, they have options for so many different things these days that I think you can, yes, you could watch it on there. Our one can go on internet as well. We can go up to all sorts of things. And again, I'm just going to bring you around. I'm holding the two down, holding the crystal with my thumb and my middle finger, and I'm holding the ribbons down with my index finger. And again, I'm just going to go straight through it. But please move your index finger out before you poke the needle through, and just carry on. Adding another crystal. Lucy is saying, I agree, threading a needle is stressful. I think it's sometimes those little things. I do it so many times, like especially when we have workshops in the warehouse. Like I go around and thread probably almost everybody's needles. But I can say sometimes I can do it with my eyes closed, I guess, but when you really need to do it, and when it's really can't, when like you're on live TV, or when you do the Facebook Lives, that's when your needle is gonna say no. They're gonna be naughty. So always just make sure you pull them on top of each other nice and evenly. I'm just gonna do a few more, and then I can show you how well it's coming out, because I don't think you can see it from my fingers at the moment. So how's everybody been? It's really nice and sunny. They'll be picking up so many lovely people on these Facebook Lives, and if you are new to this, please, do text in and say hello that you're new viewers, because also we got Facebook groups as well on our Totally Beads page. Sorry, I just needed sip of water. On our Facebook page, which is so many like-minded people really just sharing the ideas and what they're making, and it's just really great to see. And here as well, if you're new, please do comment and say hello, because we always love to hear from you, and everybody's really friendly, which is great. So let me just pull this up, because I got a 2 meter length here of both ribbons, and just keep slipping off my table and pulling it back. Right, so I'm just going to go through this crystal, and then I'm going to show you. Jam is asking, sorry Kitty, you may have already said, but what thread are you using? I'll show you the thread just a minute. So we can get really great looking results. I really do love this technique because it's sort of crossed between sewing and beading, and it just looks really different. The looks what you get with it just really different. I forgot to, I'm ready to wrap around the bead and I forgot to add the bead to my thread. I thought there was something missing. So it's very easily you can get really great results, and you don't just have to use it into jewelry. You can use this in your home decor. You can do it for loads of different bits of pieces, you know, dress up something around your home. So I think I'm not gonna go anymore. That's probably enough for you to see that it's really easy to do. You do, when you're working with two of these lovely cords, you do have to hold them down together. So if you are new and you want to start with a single one and then progress onto a double one, and then next week, where did I put my samples, or the week after, because I'm planning in next week's, oh there they are, next week's tutorials now, we will do these ones, but this takes a little bit more planning out to do the multi-row ones, but I really love them because you can get such a great effect with them. And you don't have to do like sort of sew wide parts, but that's less than half a string of each one of those beads what's there, and this one is only a few beads, so perfect to use up leftover beads as well. So don't forget to go on our website and download. There is a free PDF today to show you how to do the stitching itself. This is all on our website. So if you go on Totally Beads, either on the left hand side you got the Facebook tutorials column on the side, or if you go into categories you can choose it from there as well. That's today's ones, and then you can go back and see what we done over past this last 7 weeks. I keep saying 7 weeks, 10 weeks. In my head I'm thinking it's only been 7 weeks, but no, actually it's been 10 weeks. So this all on there. And if you go into any of the products, I'm going to go in Sarah's ball chain, which was the other day. You got some of the products. What you can do, I can see the ball chain pack is still on offer there, but if you click on that banner, then it will bring up the video where Sarah is going to be showing you how to do that project, what she did with it as well. So on today's ones, you got the flat wax cotton cord, and they're 50p a meter, but if you go in and you add 10 meters, then you get it for 35p a meter. So there you got a 30% savings on there. Don't forget, these are so fun. Let me show you these ones again, because I love these slider beads. And if you have got children, oh, and I didn't even mention these ones. So in the slider beads, we got letters as well. They should be £1.50 and they are down to 75p today. So if you just want to spell a name out, or just maybe initials or anything, really great to do. Don't forget these ones. They're just really great fun. They can go into your designs, or if you want to make with children, the flower one's great, but the hearts, I love the bunnies, are great as well. And the plain ones are great as well to use for all sorts of different designs. So don't forget about these as well, because these ones the same as some of the other products what we had on there before. It's only there until stock lasts, and I know the bundles we don't have so much stock, but do go on the website, download the free PDF. So download the free PDF. You do have to put in your basket, check out your basket, and it will be emailed to you automatically by the system. Do you have a love play? If you had a play and any pictures, it doesn't matter how basic it is, we really want to see you showing off what you're making, or even if you're using different materials but you did the technique, pop into the handmade group on Totally Beads page and just give us a picture, because it's inspirational for everybody. But don't think what you're making is too basic, because sometimes less is more. That's why I usually say, but there's plenty of other people out there who are just starting out, and for them even what you're making might be like, you know, that's what they can achieve. And it's really great to see Because sometimes if you see something really difficult, it might be discouraging a little bit and you sort of think, oh, I won't be able to do that. So just please share anything what you do. We all lovely ladies and gentlemen on there, I guess. Love to see what you make. But I love the pearl ones. I love the crystal ones as well with this one, this technique. Doris is saying, Kitty, I think you are overworking. You just call the butterflies bunnies. No, the butterflies, I'll show you, Doris. So the butterflies and bunnies together. I love them. The bunnies are, they bunnies. Look. And then you got some butterflies in there as well. So we try to put themes together, and I try to sort of the hearts, you get different shapes and you get different, some of them with more crystals. This one is so, I love this shape as well. And that's your traditional heart shape. I'm losing my voice. In the flowers, you get a couple of different shapes as well. So this one is a slightly bigger one. And then there is a smaller one as well. So you do get different shapes. And in the hands and feet, some of them it's got hands on them, handprints on them, and some of them's got like a little feet prints on them. So they're great as well. So they are, some of them are limited stock. What we got is what we got, and once it's gone, I don't think we can get them again. So that's it. Have a great play. It was really lovely to, actually let me turn the camera around so I can see you. Actually, you can see me. Margaret's saying, have a lovely rest of the day, Kitty. Thank you so much for these videos. Love them. Oh, I really love doing them as well. And Sarah really loves to do them as well. So it's, I think, I always say this is my interaction with people outside of my home, really. Yesterday I was, after the Facebook Live, I was supposed to sort of sit in the garden and do some beading and bits and pieces, but I had a phone call from work that my beads what I ordered that came in, so I had to drive in and grab them, and then I was playing with these. So this is going to be Sunday. Look at that ombre effect. So that's going to be Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to work. I had to sort of switch around a couple of days. Tomorrow we're going to be working, what did I put the samples, with the lovely acrylic roses. Let me just grab one for you. The lovely acrylic roses we're going to be working tomorrow. And Sunday we're going to be working with my, I love this stitch. So you will be able to make it sort of an ombre effect, or I made the rainbow one in the smaller one. So do stay with us. Sarah is back, I think, next Tuesday. She's at the studios for the next few days. Bless her. She's a very busy lady. And you have a lovely day. I hope everybody can enjoy the sun, or go out, just bead in a garden, or do whatever you really like. We might have a little barbecue later on, which will be really nice. I love having sort of just to sit outside in a veranda, because in our house, the sun comes up at the front, and in the evening it's at the back, and it sort of just shines on the veranda. And more often we sit outside there and just sort of sit there until the sun goes down. So have a lovely day, everybody. Do post your pictures on Facebook, because we really love to see what you're making. Do share the video as well, because the free PDF is only there today, and tomorrow it's going to be something different, so your friends and family can get it as well. And it is nice to be shared, I guess. The more shares we get, the more people we can get involved, which is what we're really trying to do at this time, that everybody's at home and got a bit of time to work on their craft. So the more you share your video, hopefully we can catch new people and show them that how easy it's really to make something like this. Because if you go into the shops and you look at it and you think, I don't think I can make that, but actually their techniques are really easy. Do you use the same crimp on a double one? Yes, I do. Let me just pick this up. So if you can see on the end, I still got the same crimp. You can make this shorter and just attach a chain to the end. So you can have sort of just to make like a front piece, or make a bracelet piece and attach it with chain. So you can wear it as a necklace and as a bracelet as well. And I'm sorry, I forgot to show you the threads. So let me just show you the threads. I know what, I can't remember what her name was asking about the threads. So the threads I like to use is the Sopalon. And I showed you this before. This is my little stash at home. the great thing about this, it's really strong thread. It holds up to the weight of 6 pounds. It comes in two sizes. So you got the D, which is a thicker one, and you got the double A, which is a thinner one. I mainly use the D for all my products, unless if I'm using size 15 seed beads and I have to go back through the same seed bead again and again and again. But this comes in, what I love about this, it comes in 36 different colors. I got one here on the side, which I made up just to see, so I don't forget about the colors, what I can use, but I pretty much know them all by now. Yes, so you can match up the color of the thread exactly the color of the seed beads you're using, because I don't like the sort of the thread showing through. It looks like more professional when you're using the right color thread. And I know Fireline is great and Wildflower, and a lot of you using those as well, but the problem with that, it only comes in 3 different colors. So if you're working with like red seed beads, you really want to use something red to put them on. Right, so that's it for me today. Have a lovely day. I'm going to go make, I'm going to have a piece of toast actually. I haven't had breakfast, and have a cup of coffee. I will see you tomorrow. We will be playing with the lovely flowers, acrylic flowers, and we will be doing weaving on Sunday. So have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.